Today, we're going to dive into a really simple story about a little cloud named Puff. But trust me, it holds a surprisingly powerful lesson. We're talking about impact and how just a single, small action can sometimes end up changing, well, everything.
So, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt just too small to make a real difference? I think it's a feeling we can all relate to, right? You look around, the world's problems feel so huge, and you think, what can I possibly do? I'm just one person. Well, this story speaks directly to that feeling. So, with that in mind, let's meet our main character.
All right, so picture this. Way up in the sky, we meet Puff. And Puff, well, he's a bit different from the other clouds. You've got these big, booming clouds making all this loud thunder, casting these huge, long shadows. And then there's Puff. He's smaller, he floats quietly, he's kind of shy. He's really just an observer, just floating along on the sidelines. And this right here, this thought, gets to the absolute core of Puff's struggle. See, it's not just that other clouds might see him as small. The real issue is that he sees himself that way. And that one single thought, it holds him back. It completely defines how he sees his own potential. But here's the thing. While Puff is totally lost in his own head, thinking about how small he is, our story's focus suddenly shifts because way down on the ground, a very real problem is starting to unfold. And Puff's quiet little world, it's about to intersect with a community that's in desperate, desperate need. And this problem isn't some abstract idea. You can see it, you can feel it. The flowers are all drooping, the rivers are running thin, and you have these children just looking up at the sky hoping for rain. The stakes are so clear and they are so immediate. And this is the turning point. Puff sees what's happening, he sees the suffering in the town, and something inside him just shifts. His whole focus changes from, I'm too small, to, I wish I could help. And that little whisper of empathy, that's the first, absolutely crucial step he takes away from all that self-doubt. So you might be wondering, how does this big change actually happen? Well, it's a pretty clear process when you break it down. First, there's observation. He sees the town in need. That sparks empathy, that whisper of wanting to help. Then you get an outside push, a catalyst, this warm breeze that lifts him up. And finally, driven by all that, he makes a conscious decision. He decides to act. And so he does it. He just squeezes with every last bit of strength he has. He has no idea what's going to happen. He doesn't know if it'll even work, but he knows he has to try. And then, a single drop. Look, it's not a huge storm, it's not a downpour, but it's something. It's a start. The result of his one brave decision starts to fall from the sky. And this is where we see the amazing chain reaction. Those tiny little raindrops, they have this immediate, beautiful effect. The flowers start to lift their heads up. The rivers begin to sparkle again. And the children, remember them? The ones who were just hoping for rain? Now they're laughing and dancing in it. The impact is just, it's undeniable. And in this moment, oh man, everything changes for Puff. The big clouds, the ones that seemed so mighty and far away, they see him now. And they don't just see him, they acknowledge what he did. That validation from the outside, it just confirms what his actions have already proven. So this really brings us to the core lesson of the whole story. See, the point was never for Puff to become some huge booming storm cloud. It was about him being exactly who he was right at the moment he was needed. His small contribution was precisely what that town needed. And that's really the big takeaway for all of us, isn't it? The story of Puff, it's not really just about a cloud. It's this powerful metaphor. It's a reminder that something we might do, something we think is small or insignificant, can actually set off a massive chain reaction of positive change. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. It's so easy to feel like Puff sometimes, but his story proves you don't have to be the loudest thunder to bring the rain. So, think about it. What's one small thing you can do? What tiny ripple effect are you going to start today?